All right, guys, what's going on? Hope you're doing good. Hope you've had a great day. Sorry I didn't get on here yesterday and make a video, but hey, it was Mother's Day. Old Don B's got a family and all that stuff, so took the day off and made sure Mom had a great Mother's Day. So, but now I'm back on, and we're going to talk about Sebastian Rogers, and oh boy, is there a lot to talk about. Old Don B wants to bring you a message. So yeah, old Don B's gonna give you a message, a little sermon. So at the end of it, drop your comments, let me know what you think, and so let's get into it. So the first thing I want to address here is we can keep Sebastian's name, face, and story out there. We can do that. We need to do that. But what I want to address is, people keep saying that all the drama, the mudslinging, all that stuff is not going to help find Sebastian. Which I understand. It's not going to help find Sebastian. So I agree with you on that. But at the same time, we need to keep the focus where it should be to find Sebastian. And that focus needs, in my opinion, that focus needs to be on that house that Sebastian went missing from. What happened in that house the prior weeks before Sebastian went missing, up until the day he did go missing. The environment of that house before Sebastian went missing. That's what we need to focus on. And we can do this without drama. We can do this without mudslinging. That's been the problem this whole time is, I know Don B's preaching. That's been the problem this whole time is we're trying, everybody's trying to stay focused on what is important. But at the same time, we do get sidetracked in the mudslinging and the drama and all that. Believe me, it can be done without the mudslinging and the drama. We just need to do it. And tough questions need to be answered. In my opinion, we need to stay focused on the house, and we need to stay focused on Katie and Chris. And a lot of people are like, well, that's not going to bring Sebastian back. That's not going to help find Sebastian. What else have you got to go on? And in the perfect world, we wouldn't have to look at Katie and Chris. But in the real world, there is a lot of red flags going on with Katie and Chris. In the real world, things have been said by Katie and Chris that throw up red flags. In the real world, people ask tough questions and they want the answers to them. In a perfect world, people kind of dance around the questions. They, throw candy into a backpack and go have fun all night, apparently, looking for a little girl that's missing. In the real world, tough questions are wanting to be asked by Don B. Tough and fair questions. And Don B's here to ask these tough and fair questions. If people want to tiptoe around and, tiptoe around the sensitive nature of things, well, let them do that. Don B ain't gonna tiptoe. Don B ain't been known to tiptoe around shit. Okay? Don B asked the hard questions. I asked the fair questions. And I expect a fair answer. That's it. No mudslinging, no drama, no nothing. And the questions I've got here, guys, is if Katie and Chris are involved in Sebastian's disappearance. Katie was the last person to see Sebastian. And a lot of people worry, did Katie do something with Sebastian? We all know Seth said that he thinks Katie may have overdosed him. That's a fair statement for Seth to make. If that's his gut feeling, Seth knows way more than we do, guys. Seth knows way more than we do. And for Seth to say that he thinks Katie may have overdosed Sebastian, he's got every right in the world to say that and think that. That's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment by Seth, because he knows more than we do. So in that, the tough question is, if Katie did something to Sebastian, how would Katie get rid of Sebastian by herself? That's a question I have. If Katie was home with Sebastian by herself all night, if she was with Sebastian all night by herself, how, if she's involved in this, how did she get rid of Sebastian by herself? If she's involved. Right. The other thing that we need to stop and think about, a lot of people are saying, well, they need to turn the house inside out, luminol, use this and use that. If what Seth is saying is true, and Katie did do something with Sebastian that involved, drugs or medicine, anything like that, there more than likely would not be any blood. If you overdose a child on Benadryl, there's plenty of children that are no longer with us because monsters in a daycare or child care facility gave these kids too much Benadryl, and they pass. Now, there's no blood. They just pass in their sleep, I guess. Their body just shuts down and they pass. So if the police did search the house, crime scene technicians did search the house, and they felt like there didn't need to be any luminol, because first of all, you're gonna find traces of blood. They know what to look for. Crime scene technicians. Some of them been doing it for 10, 20 years. They know what to look for. They're trained. They're highly trained specialists in that field. They know what to look for. And who's to say they didn't use luminol? But I have a feeling, because, the house didn't end up like Gannon Stokes, and they were bringing bags of evidence out. I have a feeling, no, there was no blood found inside that house. So, which leads me to believe, if Seth is right, and there was medicine used to do something to Sebastian, no, there would not be any blood involved. Okay. So let me know your thoughts on that. The next fair and tough question I've got is, where exactly did Katie drive to when looking for Sebastian? All we know is that she went looking for him for a brief period of time called Chris. Then the police were notified. Where exactly did Katie go? And I mean exactly. I want to know within 10 feet of where Katie took that car to when she went, looking for Sebastian. I want to know the exact places. And if Katie never left that house that night, if she never left the house that night, then did they have help in making Sebastian disappear? If Chris and Katie Proudfoot are responsible, well, let me say, if Chris or Katie Proudfoot are responsible for this, did they have help? Because how can you be at home and the boy just you're at home with him and the boy just goes missing? You wake up next morning, he's gone. It seems to me like, if Sebastian did run away, there's a lot being left out, because why would he run away? Supposedly, Katie had a picture-perfect night with Sebastian. There was no fighting. There was nothing. It was basically just another evening. He goes to bed. She goes to bed. He's gone the next morning. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I do not buy that story. And I do not buy the theory of Sebastian running away. I do not buy that. So let me know what y'all think about that. So, if Katie was in the house all night and it was a picture-perfect night, and she didn't leave the house, but yet they're responsible in a way for what happens to Sebastian. They have some kind of hand in it. Did they have help? Did Chris and Katie Proudfoot have help in making Sebastian disappear? That is a tough and fair question to ask. And it doesn't have to be met with drama. It doesn't have to be met with anger. It just has to be met with a real answer. A real and truthful answer. That's all it's got to be met with. So anyway, guys, that's what I've got for you. I'll talk a little bit more about Seth tomorrow. All I can say, I've got a lot to talk about when it comes to Seth Rogers. But all I've got to say is, keep the man in your prayers. Keep the entire family of Sebastian in your prayers. Definitely keep Sebastian in your prayers. Pray for Seth. He's I'll just talk about it tomorrow, guys. That's for another video, so I'll talk about that tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. So anyway, with everything I talked about tonight, let me know what you think. Do you think old Don B's right about being tough, asking tough and fair questions? And let me know if you're right, or let me know if you think I'm right on it doesn't have to be met with drama. It doesn't have to be met with mudslinging. Old Don B knows how to ask some tough and fair questions. And I'm here to tell you, it does not have to be answered with mudslinging and drama. So until that happens, YouTube's just going to end up being a shit show for every case out there. So let me know what you guys think. I'll see you on the next video.